Look at how fake this fight is. Tyson could have ended it with a knockout here, but instead, he chose to just run around and do nothing.
Mike Tyson has finally addressed the rumors surrounding his alleged scripted fight against Jake Paul in Dallas last Friday. Both Tyson and the YouTuber had faced criticism leading up to the bout, but the backlash intensified after the fight's outcome. Social media buzzed with claims that the match was staged, suggesting the two followed a pre-written script long before they entered the ring. The controversy has only added fuel to the ongoing debate.
Jake Paul won the bout, but some believe Tyson wasn't fighting to win. They point to a moment in the match when Paul took a punch from Tyson, taunted him by sticking out his tongue, and acted unfazed as proof that Tyson was taking it easy. Conspiracy theorists argue that Tyson, now 58, took the fight for the $20 million payday and let Paul have an easy victory. After all, Tyson is well past his prime, hadn't fought in years. Some even claim Tyson wasn't attacking at all, making it seem like the whole thing was staged for Paul to get a win over a legendary boxer, something Paul supporters are quick to highlight as a win for his career. Others suggest that Paul was simply taunting Tyson, like he's done in his previous fights. It's a heated debate. Was it a legitimate fight or an orchestrated spectacle for TV ratings and social?
Jake Paul has faced accusations before about setting up fights that seem to go against the true spirit of competitive boxing. However, Tyson recently spoke up, sharing his thoughts on everything that unfolded both during and after the match.
So I'm watching this fight, I'm watching the recaps because I love boxing, and it has come to my brain, like it is processed in my brain, that this is fishy. For example, the rules. He got paid more based on the round. Now, normally, from my experience, again, this is low-level professional fights. This is not marquee fights. Normally, if you knock somebody out, you get some extra money. Like in the MMA, you get fight of the night, you get an extra 50 to 70 grand. Whereas here, if you went all 8 rounds, you got a bonus. And there were certain tells, right? Like when Tyson literally sees a clear shot and he holds back. And you see that Jake Paul's hands are down, his face is wide open. By the way, guys, Jake Paul's defense was atrocious. His hands were down the whole time.
Iron Mike's statement carried a raw honesty. In his post on X, he reflected on his gratitude for even stepping into the ring. "I almost died in June," he shared. "I had 8 blood transfusions, lost half my blood, and dropped 25 pounds while in the hospital. I had to fight just to get healthy enough to fight again." He added, "For my children to see me go 8 rounds with a talented fighter half my age in front of a packed Dallas Cowboy Stadium is a gift beyond words. I owe it all to the medical team. Thank you." Tyson's condition wasn't a secret when it first happened, but no one realized how serious it truly was. Initially, people assumed it stemmed from a complex ulcer episode that even forced an emergency landing. Despite this, over 72,000 fans eagerly tuned in to watch the highly anticipated bout. The event was part of a thrilling co-main card, which also featured Katie Taylor in a controversial super lightweight championship showdown against Amanda Serrano, a battle that left fans debating the decision for days.
Finally arriving in my path and in my destiny, and it just feels good.
I can't come up with 2 names who could capture the entire gambit of fans, both involved in boxing and not, old and young.
It's a special moment, and who I have tonight, I'm gonna go with Tyson. I mean, he's looking slim, he's looking big.
I don't know, something about me, I'm just in the present moment. I'm ready for war, I'm ready for action. God is with me, God is protecting me, so didn't feel a thing.
I think that using his youth, his athleticism would be the smart choice to do in this matter.
The event broke Texas's previous combat sports revenue record of $9 million, set when Canelo Alvarez fought Billy Joe Saunders at the 80,000-seat Atant Stadium in 2021. According to Most Valuable Promotions, over 73,000 fans attended that fight, marking the largest crowd for a U.S. sporting event since the pandemic began a year earlier. It was a historic moment for fans and the sport alike.
Can't even believe that I'm beating these people, so they say it's rigged.
And is there an element of like some of the people you step in the ring with, they're like, all right, fine, I'll take it. Like, I'll shut the YouTuber up?
100%. They all thought they were going to be that person. You know, even Tyron Woodley really thought he was going to beat the shit out of me. I hit fucking hard, and I'm a real problem.
What's up with you and Dana White?
These fighters are basically enslaved contracts.
You could go in your next fight, you could fight somebody who's a professional boxer, but maybe doesn't draw as much money as, say, you go and you fight Andrew Tate.
I've always leaned on going with a tougher opponent, always. They just haven't gotten in the ring with me.
Are they scared? Why are they not getting in?
Yes, I believe so. People say, oh, you have a chip on your shoulder? Like, I have 2 chips on my shoulder, one on each side. I'm hungry, I'm relentless, and I will show the world that I'm a world champion.
Who's the person that if you fight, you're like, I can't believe I'm in the ring with this person, and like, let's fucking go.
Paul secured a decisive victory over Tyson, the 58-year-old former heavyweight champion, in a one-sided match where he dominated all but one round on the judges' scorecards. This marked Paul's 11th win in 12 professional fights, with 7 knockouts since his transition from YouTuber to boxer just 4.5 years ago. Such allegations are not entirely new, especially as Tyson, after nearly 2 decades away from the ring, faces scrutiny over the authenticity of his return. While questions remain, the fight undoubtedly fueled intense debate and intrigue.
Everything you've ever done, Jake, tonight is the moment.
We've been waiting on this. We've been waiting on this.
Waiting on this.
Get this body there. Get him out your way.
Speculation ran wild ahead of the much-anticipated boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson when a fake script claiming to reveal the fight's outcome appeared online. The so-called leak described a dramatic 5th-round knockout victory for Paul, sending fans into a whirlwind of excitement and debate. However, just like the bogus rumors before Paul's fight with Tommy Fury, there was no evidence to support the claim that the fight was fixed. Predicting Paul as the victor was almost comical to some, especially to boxing purists who argue he doesn't fit the mold of a traditional professional boxer, but love him or hate him, Paul keeps people talking.
When I met Jake Paul, I knew he had a unique offering for combat sports because he had a captive audience. No different than KSI and Logan Paul, right? They come with a fan base that is rare to find in boxing or MMA. In traditional ball and stick sports, by the time you become a pro, you often have a fairly meaningful audience, so you can convert that. So when I met Jake, I said, okay, that's pretty unique. Now, his audience was vastly smaller when I met him in October of 2019, but it was still like 25 million people across platforms, right? Plus his YouTube. I always believed we could do some very meaningful, disruptive things. I said that to multiple companies that I pitched Jake Paul to. I said that to peers who I worked with. I said it to individuals that we wanted to partner with at the time to say, trust me, you want to be a part of this. We're going to build something very meaningful in the next 5 to 10 years. So I knew it could happen.
The persistent rumor of a scripted fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was almost laughable. According to the fake document, Tyson would shine early, showcasing his trademark brilliance before Paul turned the tide. Supposedly, Paul was to deliver a decisive 5th-round blow, knocking Tyson down and claiming victory. Despite the chatter, the actual fight played out nothing like the so-called script. Adding fuel to the fire were fan theories, with some claiming to have spotted a key moment: Jake Paul allegedly signaling Tyson to take it easy. One fan even shared a clip on X showing Tyson landing a solid shot to Paul's chin, sparking further speculation.
Landing some big shots and knocking Jake around the ring. But that changed when Paul clinched with Tyson. It's alleged he whispered into Tyson's ear to cool it, and the message was confirmed received by Tyson with the affirming tap on the back. After that moment, Tyson became a stick in the mud, standing directly in front of Paul with no more aggressiveness to him. Like here, for instance, Tyson can see the right hand plain as day and makes no attempt to slip it. My next reason is Tyson was definitely pulling his punches. Tyson looked as if he was struggling to hold back and not throw punches at Paul. Here's a perfect example. Tyson deflects the shot off his shoulder, comes up in perfect position to land a counter right hand, but does nothing. Very uncharacteristic. And my final reason is Tyson biting his glove. The reason he was doing this was to remind himself not to throw punches and let Jake control.
Paul responded to the punch in his signature style, sticking out his tongue and taunting Tyson as if to shrug off the impact. It's a move fans have seen before, both in the ring and in his antics outside of it. Known for his tongue-out gestures, the former YouTuber sparked wild conspiracy theories, claiming Tyson was signaling something. Despite lacking any evidence, these theories gained traction, spreading across social media like wildfire.
Be happening if there wasn't an appetite for them. I think the Netflix viewing figures and the attendance would show you that there is a huge demand for it, but I'd also question, just because you can do something, should you do something? You know, was that really, I listened to those vox pops there from the fans saying, you know, it was one last opportunity to see Mike Tyson fight. Well, would it not be better served going on YouTube and watching a prime Mike Tyson? Did you really get the value out of the money that you paid for the ticket to go and watch him? I'd question that. That's kind of one of the things that was my immediate reaction to hearing what the fans had to say. But it, you know, it's opinions, isn't it? It wasn't for me as more of a pure boxing fan. Nostalgia certainly took over, and I think some people got carried away. But that's not to throw any hate on Jake Paul at all.
Despite widespread criticism of the fight's outcome, many were shocked it was even allowed to happen. Originally postponed in June due to Tyson's severe health scare, a life-threatening ulcer flare-up during a cross-country flight, he later revealed he nearly died on that plane. Tyson endured 8 blood transfusions during his recovery, a harrowing journey to make it back to the ring.
Back everybody, I'm Dr. Brian Suter, and my goal in this channel is to teach you more about the medical side of the sports world. Now, yes, I watched the fight. Turned out exactly like you'd expect a 58-year-old to look when they're out there boxing. I don't think anybody was really surprised after the fact. I think a lot of people hoped that we'd see this new, rejuvenated, energized version of Tyson, and he came out and a couple of rounds looked pretty good, and then by the end of the fight it was clear this was a 58-year-old man, and he looked like a 58-year-old man. And I have a lot of issues with this. I don't think this fight should have ever happened. I think it says a lot of bad things about the combat sports world and sets a really dangerous precedent going forward. We're gonna talk about the whole fight clearance approval process, and then just physiologically,
anger and resentment might be behind the ongoing rumors surrounding the fight. Emotions often shape how we view situations, and the highly anticipated showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was no exception. It became one of the most discussed boxing events of the year, yet when the fight finally happened, it left many fans disappointed. As the action unfolded in the ring, questions started to arise. Was the outcome already decided, or was this just a cash grab, a way to make money off fans? Upon reflection, it felt more like an exhibition than a true competition. You can't help but wonder if there's some truth to the idea that something wasn't quite right. In the first 2 rounds, Tyson had several chances to land a knockout punch on Jake, but he didn't go for it. Was it out of respect for the younger fighter, or were both boxers consciously holding back, not wanting to hurt each other too much? It's hard to say. Some fans believe it was all part of a bigger plan. In fact, the speculation didn't even start in the ring. Some even pointed out that Tyson seemed defeated as he made his way to the ring, noting his somber expression and slow walk, suggesting that maybe he was just going through the motion.
My next reason is Tyson was definitely pulling his punches. Tyson looked as if he was struggling to hold back and not throw punches at Paul. Here's a perfect example. Tyson deflects the shot off his shoulder, comes up in perfect position to land a counter right hand, but does nothing. Very uncharacteristic. And my final reason is Tyson biting his glove. The reason he was doing this was to remind himself not to throw punches and let Jake control the pace. Was this fight a fake? Let me know in the comments.
Now, I know it's just training footage. He's just hitting pads. Pads don't hit back. I get that. But he had the ability to hit combos. And once you start a combo, you just let loose. And if you get hit by one, you're just like, okay, I got hit by a punch. But here's the deal. Like, Tyson literally didn't unload. Boom, boom. He didn't unload with one good combo.
Let's explore why many boxing fans still suspect that the fight between Tyson and Jake Paul may have been staged. The financial rewards for both were massive, but even more so for Tyson. He was guaranteed at least $15 million no matter how the fight turned out. While Tyson's current net worth is around $10 million, which is a substantial amount for most people, it's small compared to the hundreds of millions he earned during his prime in the ring. In essence, this fight with Jake Paul allowed Tyson to almost double his net worth in just one day. That's a pretty remarkable payday for anyone.
Thought Floyd and Logan could have went for a second one, or definitely Floyd and what's the guy named Connor. Bro, if you're getting 40 million, you'd be like, yo Mike, hit me with a couple good body shots. I'm gonna hit you with a couple good ones. We're gonna make both people who hate me think you really got it. People who like me think that I really overperform, and we're gonna do this again. I'm gonna get another 40 million, and then we're gonna get you to 30 million. This is how I would be thinking that they're playing it, right? Like, yo, nobody, if you knock someone out, it's over, right? Like, we don't want to see it again. But if it's a competitive thing, but imagine if Tyson agrees, like, okay, cool, that's everything, yeah. But remember, it's Iron Mike. Say he takes the money and just knock him. Now, granted, I don't know how Mike looks in actual boxing these days.
For someone who's faced their share of financial struggles, this fight is more than just a match. It's a chance to secure a brighter future for himself and his family with one big moment in the ring. Jake Paul, never shy about his intentions, was upfront about what he hoped to gain from this fight. He boasted about potentially earning close to $50 million just by stepping in the ring. While he didn't knock out Tyson as he had promised, Jake still walked away with his hefty $40 million paycheck. Later, he apologized to fans for failing to deliver the knockout they expected. However, many weren't convinced, fueling rumors that the fight might have been scripted all along.
Fight the best fight I possibly could, but when someone's just surviving in the ring, basically, it's hard to make it exciting. So I couldn't really get him to engage me or slip shots and, do something super cool or whatever. But I don't care about what people have to say. They're always going to have something to say, and that it is what it is. There was a point where, I was just like, okay, he's not really engaging back. And so I don't know if he's tired or whatever. And I could just tell, his age was showing a little bit, and I just have so much respect for him. And that violence war thing between us, after he slapped me, I wanted to, be aggressive and take him down and knock him out and all that stuff. But that kind of went away as the...
Towards the end of the fight, Paul's shift in attitude may not be as genuine as he wants us to think. It's possible that his bow to Tyson was more about showing gratitude for drawing in the crowd and securing the $40 million payday, rather than a true sign of respect.
That's like me getting out there trying to return one touchdown for old time's sake against some 20, 21-year-old guys who can run 4.3. It's not going to happen.
So you couldn't do it, is what you're saying that?
I could not run a 100-yard touchdown like I did
come
back
on.
in the day.
They can't do it anymore regardless.
I pull a hamstring.
They haven't done it since you.
Mike, I need about a year.
Preach, Ryan. Preach, Ryan.
I need about a year to get in shape for that.
All right.
But I'm not 58, 59.
I can punt to you.
You see what I'm saying?
I'll punt
I
to
can
you.
do it at 40, but not at 58. Mike needed to go somewhere and commentate. But I did appreciate the respect that Jake Paul showed Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
He didn't knock him out. He could have.
Yeah.
He could have started landing, just started going at Mike. I'm younger, I can take it.
Jake Paul continues to insist that the fight wasn't staged, claiming he could have seriously hurt Tyson if he wanted to. But can we really take that statement at face value, especially when considering Tyson's legendary reputation in the ring? Tyson has always been known for his devastating power, even now. Yet, throughout the fight, particularly in the early rounds, it seemed like he was holding back. In the end, both fighters walked away with a hefty payday, proving that while the match may have been controversial, it certainly paid off for both. Netflix, the streaming platform for the fight, made a considerable profit as well, so all parties were fairly content. Even if the match was staged, no one can deny the financial success it generated. In fact, the fight earned around $18 million. But that's been the essence of Jake Paul's boxing journey. He's in it for the headlines, to entertain fans, and leave with pockets full of cash. His approach has worked well, with his only loss being to Tommy Fury in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia last year. Jake Paul is focused on the future, with plans to make a run at the cruiserweight division in the next 2 years. He's confident in his abilities and is setting his sights on bigger opportunities. Unsurprisingly, Jake has mentioned the possibility of facing some of the sport's biggest names, including Canelo Alvarez, though Canelo might be more interested in a less risky, high-reward matchup. While many critics question Jake's true intentions in boxing, he remains committed to proving himself and carving out a long-lasting career in the sport. The true depth of Jake Paul's passion for boxing, however, still remains a mystery. We can only take his word for it. But there's one thing we know for sure. Both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson walked away with fatter wallets after the fight. Tyson once opened up to the press, sharing how his time as a pro boxer was tough, weighed down by legal battles and personal struggle. So getting a big paycheck to face off against a YouTuber trying to prove he's got real boxing skills doesn't sound like a bad deal. Do you think Tyson will make a return to the ring? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching.